Let's start in a seated position, and you can take easy seat, Sukhasana, cross-legged, or maybe ankle to ankle if your thighs flatten on the floor a little more easily. I always like putting my hips up on the front edge of a block or a cushion so that the pelvis kind of rotates forward. So take a moment to find that foundation, whatever that feels like for you in your body. And then when you get there, I'd like you to just close your eyes and settle here for a moment. Settling into this sacred space. So just taking time for a moment to honor yourself for carving out this time. Committing to introspection, committing to some time in your body. During today's practice, we'll spend a lot of time around the hips, the pelvis, the lower back. And this is an invitation to practice awareness. Proprioception, which means awareness of where your body is in space. So in these first few moments, I invite you to bring your attention down into your low back and below the waistband, that sacrum. You might even bring your hand back there and just massage the bony part of the back of your pelvis, leading down into your tailbone. That V-shaped space there called the SI joint. Just see what kind of energy is there today. Any tenderness? What are you aware of as you palpate this lower part of your spine? And then let your fingers come up around the top of your pelvis across the hip bones. And they're kind of shaped like an elephant ears. So you can just bring your hands forward and back up over that curve. And just see what sensations are there today, what awareness this brings up for you. And then just slide your fingers to your low belly, just above the pubic bone, below the belly button, and just a little firm pressure there. And then just shift awareness to this part of your body. What do you notice here? Let your hands come out to the crease of your hips. And as you press down into the crease of your hips, you'll feel hip flexors. Super, super tight muscle on all of us. And then squeeze your hands down the front of your thighs, like giving your quadriceps a massage. And what are you noticing today in these muscles as we get started? So now that we've just taken a little quick tour of the hips, the pelvis, and the thighs, let's take a few deep breaths together here. So inhale, fill up as much as you can through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Do that again. Breathe in through your nose. Fill your whole body up. And then exhale. This time, as you inhale, pull the pelvic floor up. And as you exhale, relax the pelvic floor muscles down. Do that again, just to get used to that feeling. Inhale, we call it Mula Bandha, lifting the pelvic floor muscles up. And exhale, relax those muscles down. Now we're going to do the opposite. So now on the inhale, you're going to press down on the pelvic floor muscles, right? So the diaphragm up here is doing the same thing. Both of your diaphragms pressing down as you inhale. And then as you exhale, pull the muscles of the pelvic floor up, the navel comes into the spine, the breath leaves the body. Inhale, expand all the way down into that pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze the muscles from the bottom. Belly comes in. Do that one more time. Expansive, diaphragmatic breathing. And then exhale. So that's the breath we're going to keep today. So bring your fingertips to the floor on either side of you. Palms turn up. Inhale, let the pelvic floor lower, let the belly expand. And then exhale, arms press down, squeeze in and up. It's going to feel weird. It's a little bit counterintuitive. Inhale, press down through the pelvic floor, let your belly expand. And then exhale. Squeeze everything in. We'll do it one more time. Inhale to expand. Just making more space inside of your body. Exhale, squeeze. This time, just lift the left arm up and over. Take a deep breath into the side body. Exhale back to center. Switch sides. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale back to center. Let's do that again. Left arm lifts. Nice, and switch. Both arms come up again, and we'll start to move into a twisting flow. On the exhale, turn towards your right side and squeeze those muscles in and up to help push breath out. Come back to center, deep breath in. Exhale, twist to your left side. Use all of the muscles beneath you and around you to help you move that breath out. We'll go again, reach tall. Exhale to the right. And center. Twist to your left. One more time, back up to center and pause right here. Look up at your hands and just imagine you're holding a big ball between your hands. If you saw the full moon last night or this morning, you might even just picture trying to grab that out of the sky. And then hands come to the front of the knees. Let's round the back, chin comes into chest. Moving forward and back. Just move at your own pace here, starting to find the muscles up and down the spine. And back to neutral, roll your shoulders. Close your eyes again, just take a quick body scan. Especially from the waist down, and just notice if anything has shifted slightly, if there's any different awareness. We're looking for subtle nuances here. And then coming onto our backs, we're going to use a block for this next little sequence. So this is the 360 degrees around the pelvis sequence. So come down onto your back, and we're going to hug our right knee into our chest. So you're just going to give your right knee a nice little squeeze. The left leg falls flat on the floor and it just relaxes down there. As you pull this knee in, just look with your eyes and see the distance between your knee and your shoulder. There's no right or wrong way, just notice, first pass what's happening here. So we're going to hold on to this knee, and you're flexing your left foot, the one that's on the floor. Engage your core muscles as much as you can. And then inhale, lift your left leg up. Hold. Really squeeze through your right hip flexor. Left leg holds, the core is engaged. And then exhale, lower that leg. Keep squeezing the right leg. You're going to lift the left again, and this time we're going to turn the toes in. There's internal rotation, and I'd like you to make little lift and lower there. Lift and lower. We're waking up the hip flexors. One side squeezing, one side working. And release that foot. Let the leg relax. Squeeze your right leg more tightly. And then one more time, the left leg lifts. Now the toes turn out, external rotation. We're going to lift and lower there. Waking up through the front of the hips. And release that foot, just relax that foot to the floor. Squeeze the right leg tight and then take a look and see if the distance from knee to shoulder has changed at all. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. All right, so now you're going to need your block, and we're going to put the block right underneath the right heel. And you want it so that you can keep the right leg bent, about halfway, not all the way bent, but where you can reach the hamstring with your fingers. Okay, so we're going to flex the right foot. We're going to press that heel down into the block, and I want you to feel those hamstring muscles really engaging underneath your fingers. Deep breath in, hold your breath. And then on the exhale, relax that pressure. You'll feel the muscle relax. Bring the knee back into your chest. Circle out your ankle. Let's do that again. Press the heel into the block. Take a deep breath in. Feel the muscle with your fingers. Hold your breath. And then exhale, relax. Draw that knee into the chest. Relax your ankle. Now in slow motion, take that leg straight up in the air. And just feel that hamstring muscle, the first stretch of the day on the hamstring. And that pre-fatigue, that muscle contraction is teaching this muscle how to relax. There's a really cool system in your body called Golgi tendon organs, and they're, after a contraction, they cause a muscle to relax. All right, bending that knee again. We're taking a little tour around the hip. So I want you to feel through this one. You can keep your foot on the block or the floor. Kind of feel which way feels best to me. My hips are kind of tight, so I leave my foot on the block. The knees open out to the side. Okay. Make sure you can see, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here. Your hand is on the inside of your right knee. You're gonna take a deep breath in, and you're gonna push that knee up into your hand. You're resisting with your hand. Hold your breath. Left leg presses to the floor. And then exhale, let that knee come down. And we'll do that again. Inhale, press your knee up into your hand, hand into your knee, squeeze these adductors, hold your breath. And then exhale, release that leg down. Feels like a pretty tight part on my body. We're gonna do it a third time. So inhale, press, hold your breath. And exhale. Just kind of let it bounce there a little bit. See if it feels like that got any more roomy there. So now we're gonna go across the body. So as you come into this spinal twist, you might want your block again. You could place the block under your knee. You can hook your toes, however you like to take a spinal twist. And I'm putting the block on its middle side under my knee. Okay, the right arm extends. You're gonna bring your top hand to the top of your knee, and you're trying now to push your knee up into your hand. You're gonna feel a lot of core here as you push, push, push. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, push into your hand, and then exhale. Just relax that leg down. Let your belly soften. And we'll do that again. Press into your hand. Press, press, press. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Create resistance. Hold your breath. And then exhale, release. And I find now that I can bring that block onto its shorter side, I got a little bit more space there. So just notice if that happens for you. And then bring this knee back to center. Hug that right knee into your chest again. And look at the distance. Let's take the leg up, flex and point, circle the ankle. Bend your bottom leg, take a figure 4. And now this is just kind of a nice little juicy reward for all of that work. We're just going to come into figure 4. You can roll across your sacrum. You can close your eyes. Just take a deep breath here. Feeling those muscles around the hip, maybe a little differently. My training this weekend on female pelvic floor health, I learned that there's a tiny muscle deep in the hip. It's one of our hip rotators called obturator internus. It's little, and it's responsible for a lot of women's pelvic floor pain and SI joint pain. So we're giving that a little bit of attention right here. It's deep, deep in the hip. Let's go ahead and release the feet to the floor and then slide your legs out. Come into Shavasana for just a moment and bring back that proprioception. Bring back your body awareness. What do you notice about your right hip and your left hip? Right leg, left leg. Right foot, left foot, any difference? Might feel a little lopsided laying here, so we're going to even it out now. So when you're ready, the left knee comes into your chest, and we're going to give it a nice tight squeeze. So take a look with your eyes, right knee to right shoulder. What's the distance there? And we're just holding this left leg. I'd like you to flex the right foot. And we're just lifting that leg and hovering off the floor. Core engages. Really squeeze through the left and engage and hold through the right. And then release. Kind of shake that right leg out on the floor. And we'll come up again, internal rotation, turn the toes in, and we'll do little pulses here. Little lift and lower. Still squeezing the left side nice and tight. And release the leg down, let it relax. Squeeze the left side again, flex the right foot, lift, and now the toes turn out, external rotation, and then lift and lower. A lot of things happening in the pelvis right now. Release that leg down and just let it relax on the floor. Just take a look again, see if the distance knee to shoulder has changed at all. And then we'll bring the block in. The left foot gets to come out. That hip flexor is probably kind of happy. Wait, we have to do this first. Come up to a hamstring stretch. Kind of loosen it up. All right, now place the left heel on that block. Bring it to where you can feel the back of your hand, the hamstring with your fingers. We're going to take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, press the heel into the block. Feel those hamstring muscles engage. Exhale, release the tension, draw the knee in. Let's do that again. Press the heel into the block. Press, press, press. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Deep breath in and hold. And exhale, release. The knee comes in. Maybe a little massage around that hip crease. And then we'll take the knee out to the side. And again, if you want to rest your foot on a block, you can, or it can rest right on the floor. The right leg stays relaxed for this one. I'm going to bring the hand onto the inner knee. And on a deep breath in, press the knee into the hand, press the hand into the knee, create tension in those inner thigh muscles, adductors. Hold your breath. And exhale, relax. Just let that leg drop open. We'll do that again. Inhale, hold your breath, press into your hand, squeeze tight, and release. And just see if there's any more opening, looseness there. And we're going to cross the body, so you can take your block with you if you did that on the other side. Coming into this spinal twist. You can extend your left arm open so that it's okay if the leg's hanging as well, but this works just as well. You can hook your toes. So on this side, it looks like I'm a little tighter. So hand on top of that thigh, press your leg up into your hand. Feel your core muscles engage. Press, press, press. Breathe in and hold. And then exhale. See if your body gives you any more space. Let's do that again. Press into the hand. Hold your breath. Really press. Create tension with the hand, tension with the leg. Core stays strong. Exhale, release. Let's do that one more time. Press, press, press. Deep breath in and hold. The knee comes up into the hand presses down, and then exhale. Release and see if you got any more space here. You might even notice up into your torso or your chest and shoulder what happens here. And then on the back again, bring that left knee in toward the shoulder and take a look and see if anything's changed, any more range of motion. And take that leg up, flex and point, circle the ankle. And slowly lower, let's assess again, come into Shavasana. Feel into the left hip and the right hip. Awareness of left leg and right leg, left foot, right foot. And bend your knees. We're going to roll around onto the front. So just shift around until you can come onto your belly. And what I notice after that sequence is it's easier for me to just kind of rest my hips on the floor. Sometimes when I lay on my back, I feel tension here in this position, but it just feels like those muscles are more relaxed right now. So from here, we're just going to do a little bit of back strengthening work. Let's start with the hands right by the shoulders. Legs come close together, toes pointed back, and we're just going to lift into Cobra. Take a deep breath in and hold. And then exhale, touch the chin or the forehead down. Inhale up, find the strength of your back, hold. Exhale, lower down. One more time, come on up. And lower down. Let the forearms come down to the ground. So now you're at the height where you're holding a little bit of a back bend. And we're going to start to see what's happening in our quadriceps and hip flexors. So relax your glutes. Bring one foot in and switch. Bring the other foot in and switch. We're just going to do that back and forth to see what your natural range of motion is on both sides. Does your foot come all the way to your glutes without grabbing it? Does one side feel like it has a little more range of motion than the other? And then let's take the right forearm, and it's going to come across the front edge of your mat. So this is called half bow. We're going to reach around to that foot with the left arm and take a hold of the ankle. And this is where, if that doesn't come easily for you, you could wrap a strap around your ankle and hold there. I like to flex my foot and hold the ankle. And then looking forward, kick your foot into your hand and lift a little higher. The right toes are pointing back. Maybe the left knee lifts off the ground a little bit. Take deep breaths here. And release. Let your head come down, wiggle out your hips. And we'll switch sides. So the left arm is across the front of the mat. Right hand reaches back. No strain here to the low back. Flex the foot and just kick into the hand or strap. If you want a little more lift, you could bring your elbow and hand a little closer to you. Come up into a little bit more back bend. Half bow. And release that. Bring your head back down. Wiggle out your hips and just release through the low back. Sliding the hands back by the shoulders, bring yourself up to a tabletop position. And then widening the knees, let's slowly press back into child's pose. Been doing a lot already across the hips and the hip flexors. So just gonna sway your hips from side to side. Notice what you feel here. You are going to leave today with happy hips, that's for sure. Coming up, we're going to tuck our toes and lift into downward facing dog. Let's take a wider dog today. Let's take our feet closer to the width of our mat, maybe hands back just a little bit, and then just start to pedal here. Put a deep bend in one knee while the other leg straightens. Kind of feel your body shifting side to side, something happening up around the waist, the ribs, the armpits. Deep, full breaths. Expand and contract. Let's slowly bring our hands back toward our feet. We're going to turn the toes off the edges of our mat. The heels can stay on the mat. Fingertips down, lift and lengthen, and then just start to squat. We'll move with our breath. You can stay up high if your knees don't love deep squats. If your knees are happy today, you could drop all the way down into Malasana. Just kind of take your time in and out. Fabulous way to explore the hips, but the knees are the governor here. They make all the rules, right? So the hips can only go as far as the knees say they can go. Come down to a point where you can comfortably hold. You could put your hips on a block. And wherever you are, squeeze your elbows inside your knees, press out, and then squeeze your knees in. So let's do a little bit of P and F here. You're going to squeeze as tight as you can. As you do, lift and lengthen. Come up through the crown of the head, point down through the tailbone, squeeze. Breathe. And then as we release, the fingertips come back to the floor, straighten the legs, and all 10 toes point forward. So we're going to see what we just did. So bring the block in here. I like to bring my right hand to the block right under my face, bend the right knee, and open the left arm. Reach and stretch and lengthen. Notice your hips. Come back and switch. Left hand on the block, left knee bends, right arm opens. Let's go back and forth with breath. So find a way, a space where you can move. You might want your feet wider apart. You might want this block at a different level. What feels best to your body as you move with your breath here? One of my favorite little flows. It feels really good to my hips and low back. So make any adjustments that make it feel that way for you. And release. Heel toe your feet a little closer together with soft knees. Let's lift halfway and then scoop the arms up, but move slowly. This is the first time we're coming to standing, and you might feel a little lightheaded. Hands to heart. Good, just standing here on the back of your mat. Rise up, deep breath in. Pull that pelvic floor up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. You can move your block and then exhale, walk your hands forward, come again to downward facing dog. Notice hamstrings, see what's happening back there. Shifting forward, come into plank pose. You can be on your knees or your toes. Let's lower back to the earth. Roll the shoulders back, come again to cobra. Lift and hold. Touch your chin or your forehead down. Let's lift again, cobra pose. And touch down. One more time, cobra. And lower. Press yourself back to child's pose. And then bring your hands back to your knees. Come to sit on your heels. And if the knees say no way, come up to sit on a block. I like to kind of put it on my heels and elevate the hips. You might try a rolled up pillow or cushion to see if that works. And if that still doesn't feel good, go ahead and come up onto your knees in more of a camel pose. Okay, so the work here that we're going to do is trying to stretch the muscles of the quadriceps down across the knees. So the lower you can sit, the better, as long as that doesn't create a lot of strain. I just have to say I'm totally breaking from the practice, but I'm usually like super afraid of spiders, and I keep dreaming about spiders. And there's a giant spider that just like dropped down. Right here. So interesting, because I'm reading and they're telling me that spiders are about abundance and productivity and taking care of the people around you. So got that. All right, so while we're here, just stretching these little muscles around the quads and the knees, you could lean back if you like, come into your fingers and maybe lift the hips a little. Just gently pressing forward from the hip crease. The shoulders can pull on to the back. Kind of feeling that space. An uncomfortable position for sure, but hopefully not painful. And then releasing that. Coming onto the hands again. Let's tuck our toes, downward facing dog. And we'll walk our feet to our hands. Let's lift halfway and let's fold. Sweep the arms high, extended mountain, and bring your hands to your heart. Wonderful. All right, so turning to the side of the mat, let's turn our toes out. Let's kind of see what we've created here in these hips. So we're going to start by shifting to one side, the hips come back, opposite side and forward. So big pelvic circles. And you're just noticing maybe where that circle doesn't feel uniform. If there are any parts, my teacher says ratchety places. That means something different in my children's language. So like places where it feels rough, not smooth. There's so many muscles that we're dealing with in this range of motion. And then go the other way. I'm going to say there are probably 20 different muscles that are involved in us being able to do this action. The knees stay soft. And really what we're looking for is that one place where it just feels a little extra tender, tight, resistant to this flowy movement. And coming back to center with the toes turned out, put that bend in the knees, and let's move up and down with our breath. We can have the arms lifting and lowering. Really still just trying to feel into this space, the sacral chakra, our center of creativity. That's another thing I'm reading about spiders, is that they're a sign of creativity, an encouragement to build something, create something. One more time, down and up. And then turn your toes to face the edge of your mat. Reach your arms behind. Let's open up through the chest. There's that little back bend. And then hinge forward, coming down into this wide straddle. Forward fold. And then the hands come to the earth. Turn toward the top of your mat. Bring the back foot to meet the front. With soft knees, rise high. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, half lift. Things should be feeling like they're opening. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting forward, plank pose. Knees or toes lower halfway down. And then melt your body to the earth. All right, so we're gonna take this strap. This is gonna take a little bit of adjustment, but we're gonna take the strap around our left ankle. Okay, so the strap is just gonna come around the left ankle so that you can kind of hold it like this. All right, I'm gonna bring mine up over my shoulder and I'm on my elbows. So kind of find a Sphinx pose where your core is engaged, your tailbone is tucked. We're just gonna pull on this band until that leg comes in towards us. And you're gonna press into the band with your leg. We're gonna create that PNF again. So take a deep breath in, hold your breath and press your foot into the band. Press, 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 quads working like crazy. And then exhale, release. See if it gives you any more closer posture. Let's do that again. Press, 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 press. Deep breath in and hold. Exhale, release. And then keeping that strap where it is, turn your right arm the way we did in half bow. Okay, so this is a variation of this half frog, but you could also bring your hand back to press onto the top of your foot. And ultimately, my shoulders are not quite wanting to do this. Ultimately, dropping the elbow and turning the fingers up so they're facing the same direction as your toes is going to give you a big chest and shoulder opening. So what I'm showing you right now is kind of like almost there, not quite. So the hand would be pressing like this on the top of the foot. If that doesn't work for you, hang on to your strap and take another deep breath. And then we're going to release that and take the knee out to the side. So like regular frog, we're going to turn our head to look to the right while the left knee opens. And that should feel pretty relaxing and amazing right there. And coming back to center, we're just going to switch sides. So a little finagling with the strap, bringing it around the right foot. And coming back to your belly and then bringing that strap up over the right shoulder. Okay. So as soon as you feel like you've got some good tension on that band, turn your left arm sideways across the top of your mat. Get a nice good stretch, and then flex the foot, press into the band. Deep breath in and hold. Hold, hold, hold. And then release. See if that leg comes in a little closer. And let's do that again. Deep breath in, press and hold. Exhale, release. One more time. Press, press, press. Hold, the knee might come off the floor. And release. So you can hold on to that strap, or you can reach back and bring a hand to the foot and pull in, working towards fingers pointing up, elbow pointing down. And then as you release that, let the knee open up, the inner thigh resting on the floor, like traditional frog pose. And then turn your head to the left. And breathe. Your hips should feel pretty amazing right here. And releasing that, leg comes back in, hands come underneath you. We're going to come up into a tabletop position, and let's do one more downward facing dog just to see. Just to check in with heels toward the floor, calves, hamstrings. Feel up around your glutes, your low back. Check the space around your shoulders and the distance of your head from the floor. Just check in. And drop your knees. And bring yourself around to a seat. All right, so we're going to come into a seated forward fold. We're going to give the hamstrings a little extra attention on our way out. So you can use your strap if you like. And the strap is kind of nice for people that have low back pain or tightness back there. It's a good idea to just stay in this neutral spine while you stretch the backs of your legs. But if your lower back is happy and healthy and you want to stretch your low back, move forward from the hips as far as you can, and then just go ahead and lower down into more of a rounded posture. Walk your sitting bones back. Pull your chest forward. Imagine bringing your chest onto your shins. That forward action. Breathe deeply here, friends. Did a lot of work around the hips today. These hold a lot of emotions, a lot of history. So be tender and gentle with yourself here. Let's press back up to a half lift and reach the arms high. Just find the length of that spine again. And with the hands to the heart, start to round your spine and slowly roll down onto your back. Let your abs do some work here, hugging in as you make your way down to the floor. And once you get down here, let's hug the knees in one more time, both of them together this time, and notice what you feel. You might take a look, knee to shoulder, has anything changed? Take the knees out wide and back in. You grab the backs of the legs and pull down, or the feet, and come into happy baby. Get a little bit of movement here. Since we did so much work around the hips today, it might be interesting to come into Souptabatakanasana for your Shavasana. So that's the soles of the feet together, the knees drop open, one hand to the belly, one hand closer to the heart, and just rest here. If you prefer a full Shavasana, go ahead and straighten your legs, find whatever props you need for a few minutes of rest. Continue resting here, breathing in and breathing out with no particular effort, just awareness. Inside this sacred moment, this sacred space you have created. In the words of Jon Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness is a turning towards life, to live life as if each moment is important, as if each moment counted and could be worked with, even if it is a moment of pain, sadness, despair, or fear. He continues, I have learned to be happy where I am. I have learned that locked into the moments of each day are all the joys, the peace, the fibers of the cloth we call life. The meaning is in the moment. There is no other way to find it. The meaning is in the moment. So pause for one more delicious breath in and out. Meaning is in this moment. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Begin to stretch your body in a way that feels luxurious. Like you're really taking care of yourself in these moments. Eventually, you'll find your way back to a seat. And let's take another deep breath together, just feeling into the space around us. Awareness of this body sitting here. The hands come to heart center. Pause in this new moment with gratitude, awareness, and peace. I hope this practice has helped you to move into your day a little more freely, a little more gracefully, a little more flowy. Thank you for taking time for yourself this morning. Namaste.